thinking of a lot of directions in which to take my outreach, and there are some changes and developments and routes. One of the first things that I wanted to do was to work on the subscribers only content, and I would and add about the subscription page. I wanted to know what to do with the subscribers, and I wanted it to be something that is general and can encapsulate the breadth of people who are my followers and who could be my subscribers. So that's what I was exploring, and I've come to some conclusions. It's almost a game of life and how to play it academy, if you like it, but that's what I've decided I'm going to be doing with the subscribers. I want to go through some core principles of life and do it in detail, and make sure that we talk about it so much that we are all clear of what to do. There are some fundamentals, and they are taught in different places. When you go to some churches, you will find that in the indoctrination of the church. When you go into a lot of these self-help groups, you will find it. Actually, one of the most unlikely places that I found this being taught was the get rich, become a millionaire, abundance and attraction domain, which surprised me, because the things that they are teaching are the same things that you would find in core biblical text, and you will find it in my grandmother's old wisdom and so many other places. But you see, it is the abundance and what it really means to be abundant thinking that I want to actually teach. And then I want to teach you core examples, give you manuals and blueprints that you can use to execute. This morning, I want to give you a little precursor to what we will be discussing within the subscribers only group. If you haven't subscribed, click on the link and do go subscribe, because we will be doing only subscribers content from there. Subscribe to my channel. I'm about to show you the link. It should be visible on the video now, I hope, so that you can see. I hope that it's now visible, that you can see the link to subscribe to my page, to become one of those subscribers who would see this. And no, we will not publish it to the main page. The subscribers only content is never published to the whole page. It is a paid privilege, and only those who pay for that privilege can get it. Today, I want to talk to you about the importance of a core belief. If you have this belief, you have taken one of the first steps to bring abundance to your life. One principle: you should not want to make progress at somebody's expense. You should not want to get rich by taking money from somebody. That's theft. That could be extortion. Taking money off somebody so that you can have it is not right, it's wrong. Creating opportunities only if you take from somebody. There are all these men around in this universe, but somebody's husband is the only one you want. There are all these jobs available to be had, but somebody's job is what you want. See, you offend the universe in one of the most fundamental ways, and you will pay for it. You will pay for it. You will pay for it brutally. So then the question becomes, if we cannot steal, if we cannot covet, thou shalt not covet your neighbor's property is one of the 10 commandments. If you cannot be jealous and covet other people's property, other people's money, other people's possessions, other people's opportunities, then what is there to do? And this is one of the core principles that you should be aware of, that you should live by if you want to be happy and if you want to be fruitful. And that principle is very simple. You do not compete, you create. You do not compete, you create. Repeat after me. You do not compete for what already exists. You do not compete to grab from another. You do not compete to take from another. You create so that you will. As a young lady, you find one very beautiful young man and you set up home with him and you create this beautiful home, this life with this person, and you help him to become this amazing man, and he's yours. Nobody questions it. You can walk around with a full chest because you have created this man, you have created your opportunity with this man, you have built with him, and so it is legitimately yours. What you build with him, you create. When you create, you own. Finding a man who is already married, regardless of what nonsense he tells you, regardless of what garbage he spews and you buy it, you will find that around everywhere the notion is that he's not really yours. He's stolen, he's borrowed, you took from somebody. Yeah. People may forget it, people may pretend not to remember, but deep down for you yourself somewhere, when you take somebody from somebody, it's there. You know that you are not the legitimate owner. Why? Because you didn't create it. Same thing with business. You go and somebody has started their business and you muscle them out of the business and you take over the business and you run the business. Fundamentally, you didn't create it. The ownership is not with you. What you have not created is not yours. Take a moment, let it land. That which you have not created is not yours. How do you actually begin to operate within the creator mindset? You must have some fundamental core beliefs in place. One, you must believe in the abundance of resources and the abundance of opportunities. You must believe that even you, as you are capable of receiving the goodness that is given to all other people. You must believe that you have it within you to start things and to make things happen and to be patient and to nurture and to grow. You must have that fundamental belief. You must have the creator mindset. If something is not in existence and you want to see it in existence, you create it. Communication apps were not doing really well until Facebook decided to create one for their school community. And then they began to see the business opportunity within there, see where Meta is right now. Crazy. But the owners of Meta, they created something. Take it to Amazon, Alibaba, whoever you want to have a look, you will find that the owners, they own it because they created it. This Facebook page, it's mine. But when I come here with my full chest of hair, gray hairs, and all other colors owned. I come here with audacity, impunity. Why? Because I own this space. It is on Zuckerberg's platform, but this particular ecosystem, this niche, is mine. And when I'm here, I can talk about anything and discuss anything of my choice. It's mine to do as I wish with. Why? Because I created that space. Not because I took it from somebody. Not because I borrowed it from somebody. Not because I coveted it from somebody. I created it, and I am the legitimate owner. To own something, you must create it. To have dominion over something, you must own it. There are so many people who want dominion over things that you don't own. You cannot have dominion over something you don't own. Not of any permanent nature anyway. Not of any significant nature anyway. If you want to have significant dominion over something over an extended period of time, you've got to own it. How do you own things? The easiest, best ways to own things is to create them. That way, there is no contention over ownership. It's yours, and everybody knows it's yours. This one is the first principle. And yeah, for some of you, it will be something you think about. So I'm going to work. I have no dominion over my workplace. It's not mine. It's not mine. I'm just there to serve in a capacity to be paid. It's not mine. I have no dominion over that place. It's not mine. However, they say me walk into my business and it's a whole different conversation. Why? Because I own that business. It's mine. Mine. What's the key difference? I have created my business. There is no contention over its ownership. Ownership is not shared. It's not questioned. It's mine. And where else I'm going? Well, I have no dominion over nothing over there. I'm just an annoying character who seems to be there to serve in a capacity until I'm no longer serving in that capacity. We will talk about fulfillment and many other things around this notion, but I want to establish ownership with you and the importance of creation in the notion of ownership. And in order for you to be a creator, there is a certain mindset that you would need to operate. Especially those of you who started life not in very comfortable places. Your mind tells you that poor people, kids cannot do this. People who don't have large capitals cannot do this. That is a fallacy. Absolute fallacy. Why? Because actually in the rhetoric, we have many people who have come from nothing to become insane. The Oprah Winfreys of this world did not have nothing. Oprah came from nothing. She came from a single mother. She was a child who was tossed about. She came from poverty. But somehow Oprah has managed to rise from where she came to become Oprah Winfrey, the Oprah Winfrey she is right now. Find the Tyler Perrys of this world and you get loads of examples. Who else do you want to find? So forget those who came from middle class or upper class and have done well. There are people from the lower classes who have excelled themselves, who do phenomenal things also. So no, it's not always rich people kids. It's not always those with capital only. No, it's not. What they have in common is actually a mindset. It's a mindset. The mindset and the realization that you can do a lot of things if you put your mind to it. You can achieve an awful lot of things if you will put your mind to it. If you will commit to it. There are stages on any creator's journey, and we will talk about the stages of creation. The emotional compensations you will need to do in order to keep yourself buoyed so that you don't give up. Yeah. But yeah, there is a mindset which should be operational. If you are going to become a creator, if you are going to be an owner, if you are going to be an entrepreneur, there are so many things that we need to discuss. So this morning, that's what I want to put on the table for you. Write it down somewhere if you are a progress hunter. One of the key transitions you have to undergo is to become willing to own. And in order to be willing to own and to own in entirety, you've got to be willing to create. Willing to create what does not exist already. Willing to bring things in existence by the works of your hands so that you can own it. so that there is no contention over its ownership with you. And all courtesies due will be paid to you as the owner of this concept. In order to be able to do that, you need to understand some things about the universe. And one of the things I want to add for you is that this thing, this organ you have here, is a remote control for the resources that exist in this universe. I have just come back from spending time and talking with people who knew me in my youth. And spending time with this group of people is always refreshing because, you see, they remind you of things. A lot of the people I spoke to reminded me of some of my mindsets as a young girl. Some of the realizations that I had made very early on, that life and responsibility can get in the way of sometimes. But as a young girl, almost everything I said I was going to do was done. All the things I said I was going to become, I have become. I have done more than I even envisaged at that time. But everything that I put myself to, I put my mind to, I set myself to do, has been accomplished. And that leads me to something very profound. This is a remote control for the universe. And then you go into the various affirmation, those who teach you to conjure and to make things occur. They come from different domains. But it is a very popular notion, it's a well-established notion that if you want something to happen, you put your mind into it. I want to study. Most of the time when you say you want to study, you have no idea how you're going to do it. But you say so, you put it out here. You say it frequently enough so that at some point you have some conviction behind what you say. The minute you get conviction behind your words, you have brought them forth to live. And through your words, you see manifestation. So this is something you see from a lot of domains who teach manifestations. I know some of them have got pseudo-religious standpoints, but it doesn't matter. Whether it is from spirituality, whether it's from religious standpoints or non-religious standpoints, makes no difference. The concept of manifestation is that you envisage something and then you manifest it. You project it from here. And in my experience, a lot of things that I projected from here and projected from here with some conviction and some consistency have somehow materialized in my life. And a lot of the times when you look at the circumstances of my life, it makes no sense for some of those things to manifest, except that your thoughts, your beliefs, and the convictions behind it almost mobilize the resources in the universe to make manifest of that which you imagine. I'll say it again. Your brain, your mind is a remote control. Your will is a remote control for mobilizing the resources of the universe to achieve the things that you envisage. So be careful what you allow your mind to do. Many people have manifested divorce in their relationship even before they got into relationships. I'm afraid of divorce. He will divorce me. Oh, she would. And yes, few years down the line, you will find that you've made manifest of your greatest fears. You can manifest your greatest fears as much as you can manifest your greatest ambitions. This has always got to be under your control, because what you allow this to dwell on, to focus on, can be conjured for you. This is a remote control with the capacity to mobilize resources to make phenomenal things happen. Like any remote control, you would need to put in batteries. You would need to know the range of application. There are some basic rules that you must apply. You must comply with some things. And this app is doing it again, you know. I cannot see your comments. I can't even see who you are on here. So forgive me. I cannot know who you are and greet you. If you've written anything, it probably will pop when it's ready. It hasn't yet. But when I have a minute during my day, I will look and I will respond. I think a realization of what your mind can do, of what your imaginations can make happen in your life, is so important. And somehow I knew this as a very young girl. I would sit and daydream about a lot of things. I would put my passion behind a lot of my daydreams. And I recently, reflecting over it with the people from my youth, I realized that I have actually made manifest of a lot of the things that I envisaged as a young girl. I remember telling all my friends that I will have 2 children. Guess what? I have 2 children. I will have a boy followed by a girl. Guess what? A boy followed by a girl. That I will build a relationship with my daughter that will transcend parent and daughter and become friendship as she grew. I wanted my home to be a place where laughter and giggles lived. I wanted my spouse and I to have a friendship, regardless of anything else around us. And I would say these things out loud to so many people, and a lot of those people over the last couple of weeks have been sharing and reminding me of some of the things that I said as a young person. And that's my life. Significant portions of it is my life. So most of the people who had these conversations with me over this period were asking, how on earth were you able to predict some of these things in your life so accurately? They were not predictions. They were manifestations of the things that I envisaged. I was not predicting nothing. I was manifesting that which I imagined. And it seemed to have complied to my will. The universe has just supplied the resources and created the opportunities to help me manifest that which I willed to see in my life. That's very, very significant. So be careful what you envisage, be careful what you imagine, and be daring in your imaginations, be daring in your dreams. Don't limit your dreams, don't restrict your dreams. You may achieve phenomenal things if you would be brave enough to let your mind go and envisage. Don't envisage a small saloon car. Envisage something big. I remember seeing a friend of mine in an Audi Q6 or Q7, I can't even remember the numbers, in England. And at the time, I saw that car and it was huge. It was way outside my range, to be honest. Getting a saloon car and getting a decent new saloon car, getting a brand new car itself of any kind, was out of my league at the time. But I remember seeing my friend in her Audi, thinking, yeah, that would be me next. Yeah, that would be me next. Maybe 3-4 years after this crazy, yeah, that would be me next. That would be me next. I was here in the Middle East. I was in a showroom buying a brand new Toyota Fortuner. Brand new Toyota Fortuner. Maybe not quite an Audi Q6 or Q7, whatever that was. But I had bought myself a brand new SUV. Something that was unimaginable when the desire first hit me. This is what I want to say to you. If something hits you in your gut and it feels important, well, there's a reason why. There's a reason why. And don't dismiss it too quickly. Don't let the state of affairs, the visible signs, put you off too quickly. Don't be discouraged so easily just because it does not seem plausible to you. Many things that have not been plausible have been achieved. Yeah. When something hits you, when a desire hits you, you've got to acknowledge that it doesn't come to you for nothing. There's a reason why it crosses your mind. When you see somebody's SUVs, there are so many SUVs in town. I got to May's house and I saw where May lived, and she had abundance. That woman had abundance. They had a living room here. They had an extra living room there. Funny. And I kept thinking to myself, oh, what a life. What an amazing life. Well, like I said, a few years I was here. I lived in a house with 2 living rooms. We had a children's living room. We had an adult's living room. I've lived in houses with 3 living rooms, plus a dining room, plus a this, plus a that. It wasn't until recently, as I reflected again, that I thought, hey, I have had something comparable to May's life. Unimaginable. But I have had something comparable to May's life. Not quite May's life, but abundance beyond my wildest dreams at the time in Manchester when the thought hit me that her life seemed like a good thing to do. It seemed so good. She was so lucky. She had married, well, they were Jordanian. And they were in England. She had married a guy who was in good business. She didn't work. Her husband worked, and her husband provided abundantly for them. Well, maybe in my case, I didn't get to not work. However, I managed to find myself living in some of these incredible spaces with my own little new SUV, operating in circumstances that were quite respectable. And where does it come from? It all starts from here. When you think, oh, I envisage a time when my business has taken off so well that I don't need to work for nobody else. I envisage a time where my business employs people, that I have full-time workers who are busy doing all sorts of things to scale my business. I envisage. So I have a car that I think I might buy in reality. But I also have at the back of my mind, knowing the things that I know about this universe and the things that it will deliver. I've already started talking to people about the 2 cars that I like. And every time it comes up, my friends are like, what? I like the Jaguar F-Pace. I like it. I've liked it for a few years. And there's a Bentley SUV that I really like too. Do I look like one who can afford a Bentley SUV? Do I look like I can afford the Jaguar F-Pace right now? But it gets a reason why my spirit identifies those cars in particular. There's a reason. And I shouldn't be too quick to discard and disregard it. No. I should not be too quick to discard and disregard. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share as a teaser. Those of you who are interested in going on that project with me, please do go subscribe to the channel. We will start on the 1st of September, putting things on the channel regularly. We will be listening to podcasts that I generate. You will listen to some of my running commentaries. Hopefully, we shall grow together as a community, because that's what I want to achieve with you. I want to achieve growth for us collectively. Wish me well. Pray for me. I am here to start a brand new academic year. I'm not 100% sure what my maker wants to do with me here. But I also know that there is an assignment on my head that needs to be executed. I pray that this year I operate in my purpose, that I am able to bring transformation to a lot of young people in their lives, so that I would also finish this year with some fulfillment. That's something which has been missing in my life for a while. Fulfillment. So pray for me. And I pray the same for you. It's good to see you all. I didn't get to see your names, but when I get a chance, I will look at the comments later and I will respond. Right? Bye, everyone.